What's going on, everybody? It has definitely been way too long since we've done an update video on the old Joker Stang here. There was a brief moment where I considered selling this car, but honestly, I just can't seem to part ways with it. I like it too much. I enjoy working on it, so will not be selling it at this time. You know, maybe in the future I might decide to let it go, but for now, I'm just gonna keep it. It's very unique. You're always gonna have people that love it, people that hate it. I got to drive it today without the hood, without the rear wing, and with this hideous paint job that's currently on here, which we'll talk about in a moment. Took it to the gas station, filled it up with gas. It's the first time that I've drove this car in a long time. But I got to the gas station and people flocked to this thing like it was, you know, some exotic, crazy car. They were taking pictures, they were asking questions, and everybody just loved it. And so that makes me happy that people like it. But I'm still not happy with the paint job, and so we'll talk about that first, I suppose. I like this color. I do like the black lines, maybe not as many black lines as what's on here now. I do like the green ha-has, but I did way too many of them. And a couple of issues that we have with the car is, for one, when I got the paint for this car, I was gonna get a graffiti artist to graffiti it and do the cartoonish paint job, and then that fell through and didn't happen, and so I decided to do it myself, which is why it looks the way that it does now. But the issue is, when we were gonna do the graffiti, you would do that with rattle cans. And so I wound up liking the purple out of all the different colors and rattle cans that I had. And so I just sprayed the whole car with the purple, and then I put the ha-has on it, and then I cleared over it. And I liked the color, so I ordered basically this same color. It's very similar in actual automotive paint, not rattle can. And then the other issue that we have is, obviously I got way too many ha-has on this thing. When I redo it, I'm not gonna put any ha-has on the top of the car anywhere except for the hood. There will be none on the roof. There's way too many on the roof, and I just feel like it doesn't need any, and it doesn't need any on the trunk, especially with the green wing that's gonna be on there. I feel like the only place that it needs ha-has, and you can see I've been playing around, is some down the sides, nowhere near as many as what's here now. A couple on the rear valance, like we've got now, and a couple on the front bumper, like we currently have now. But hopefully I can get a better design of them. They don't match the way that they should. This is all just free-handed. I might see if I can get somebody to do airbrush. We'll see. But I'm gonna redo those and not do as many. And like I say, just have some on the hood, some on the sides, and some on the front and back, and basically nothing on the top. The reason that the hood is off right now is because of the brakes. That was one of the things that I have been fighting with, was trying to get the brakes dialed in. I did the disc brake conversion on the front of the car, and I could not get a hard pedal no matter what I did. I tried adjusting the brake pedal as far out as it would go. I tried adjusting the adjustment, which is in between the booster and the master cylinder. I bled the brakes probably 20 times. I verified that my calipers were on the car correctly, because you can put them upside down, which makes bleeding impossible. Mine are installed correctly. Verified all that, still could not get brakes. And so what I wound up doing was ordering another booster and master cylinder, and I swapped that out, bled the brakes, went around this thing twice and bled it, and now I've got full brake pedal, which is really nice. In fact, my brake pedal, if you look inside the car, is adjusted way too high, so I can actually bring that down now, and this thing has got really good brakes, and I'll get that pedal in a way better position. I do have to figure out what's going on with my brake lights. The sensor is not working correctly when you hit the brakes. It's sticking, so I may have to do a little bit of grinding on that shaft because of the way that sensor is, or I may see if there's a more modern brake light switch that I can install to make the brake lights work better. But that's a small issue. I do have a couple of wheel studs that I have to replace. I've currently only got 3 lug nuts on this wheel because 2 of the studs are broken and need to be replaced. Obviously, I've got to get this interior all in one piece installed. But of course, before I can finish the interior, I got to get it repainted. And like I say, the biggest reason for repainting it is 1, it's rattle canned, and 2, this car has been painted several times if you followed along. And when you get this many layers of paint with this kind of weather, it doesn't cure as fast as it should. And you start layering over layering, and you get what's called crazing, which you can kind of see right there. That is where your solvents are trying to escape, and you've just got too much paint, and that causes the crazing, which is no big deal in this case because I was planning on repainting the car anyway. But before I repaint it, I'm going to sand it all the way back down to the epoxy primer that I had originally started with. I've got about 3 or 4 coats of epoxy underneath all this paint, and that's where I'm going to take it to make sure that I don't have any issues with crazing and just getting all this excess paint that we don't need off of the car. So I will have to remove, a few parts to repaint it. No big deal. I'm getting pretty good at taking this thing apart at this point. But before I do the paint, I just wanted to get all the issues solved with the car. I was able to drive it today. Like I say, the brakes are working great, other than having the issue with the brake lights. Car running, drove great, took it to the gas station. Got a lot of compliments on it. People loved it. I had an issue where it started cutting out on me, kind of giving a rough idle, like it wanted to die, but it wasn't dying. I thought maybe the EFI needed to be tuned a little better, so I tried resetting that. It was still doing it, and come to find out, one of my spark plug wires melted to the header, was causing that issue. So I got that fixed, and now it's got brakes. It runs, it drives, it stops. Next couple of things on the list, which can be done after paint, is going to be suspension. I need better suspension on the car. And of course, the car sits higher in the front than it does in the back. It's sitting like that, which is really ugly. So I need to do maybe the Shelby drop at the bare minimum for now to get that front end down. But I definitely need new rear shocks for the rear at the minimum for now, just to drive it, because it is sitting a little bit lower, I think, in the rear than it would if it had good shocks. So all of that's coming up in the future. But like I say, for now, I just want to get it painted, get it running, driving. I need to finish all the fiberglass work on the inside of the fender wells, which I'll do before I paint it, and just kind of get it to that finishing stage. But we're almost there. I do apologize that I have not been making videos every Sunday like I had been doing, but it is what it is. Sometimes you get to a stopping point, and I've just kind of been at a stopping point. And then the weather's been crazy, and I did get sick again. And that was even with the warm weather. I caught the flu. And so I just haven't really been working on it as much as I should. And then of course I was waiting on those brake parts and trying to come up with the scheme that I wanted to do, because I'm tired of just putting paint on here just to see how it looks. I've bought a computer, and I'm gonna computer generate images of this car and put the ha-has and things on it and pictures. That way I'm not just painting it and seeing how it looks and then deciding if I like it. So moving up in the world technology-wise, and gonna get this thing right for you guys. But anyway, I'm gonna end the video right here because it's dragging on. I hope you guys have been following along. I do appreciate everybody who's always commenting good stuff and who likes the car. That's what keeps me motivated to keep working on this thing. And you can look forward to more videos of this car, and sometime in the future, videos of my next build, which I can go ahead and tell you is gonna be a kind of an Eleanor tribute car. Not 100% Eleanor, but in that style. It will be a fastback and not a coupe. And that's gonna be what we're gonna be working on next. I'm still planning all of that. I was gonna do a fiberglass body. Decided against the fiberglass body for now, and I'm doing more research on whether I should do fiberglass or steel and what drivetrain I wanna use for that build. But that's all in the future. We're gonna focus on this one for now and get it done, and hopefully be able to take it to some car shows and enjoy it. But anyway, I hope everybody had a good weekend. This was our Sunday update video, and we'll see you on the next one.